Commended the nominee, and I was very inspired by your opening statement. But the last word you used, I was a bit confused. When you said, we can win this war, I thought that is begging the question. What we expect from you is assurance. We will win this war. We shall win this war. Not can. Can is about potential. We have talked too much about potentials. Order your leadership. Nigeria will win this war.
Up with the issue, everybody is fed up and everybody wants things to be done differently. And those are the things we're going to do to make sure that we have peace. Like Senator Oshiomole mentioned, we will win.
I joined in commending the nominee, and I was very inspired by your opening statement. But the last word you used, I was a bit confused. When you said, we can win this war, I thought that is begging the question. What we expect from you is assurance. We will win this war. We shall win this war. Not can. Can is about potential. We have talked too much about potentials. Order your leadership. Nigeria will win this war. Order President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we shall win this war. That's the kind of assurance we want. That's it. There have been a couple of observations that people have raised. When young men and women are kidnapped, state governors and other stakeholders are panicking, people are responding differently. For example, we have seen reports of armed terrorists coming out of the bush and negotiating with a subnational government. And people are like, how can we negotiate? And on the floor of this Senate, many distinguished senators remind us that people know where these terrorists are. They know their roots. And in any case, if they didn't know them, how do they negotiate with them? Because once the armed forces is demystified, there is no state. It is the power of the state. It possesses the monopoly to use instruments of violence to liquidate anyone who threatens the existence of the state. So for many people, they can't understand why the state or anybody purporting to represent the state will negotiate with bandits. They come to the city, and then after negotiations, they go back. There are other stories that one cannot verify about people wearing uniforms or people they have killed and so on and so forth. Like has been said, I don't think any one of us here has any iota of doubt. If anything, I have been congratulating many people who come to me that yes, for several reasons, your appointment is a bold statement, even to enemies of Nigeria outside Nigeria, who sought to polarize our country along religious lines. Your appointment has shut their mouth down. So, in all respect, I'm pleased, I'm happy, my confidence is reinforced. But sir, I need you to change your statement that we shall win. Number two, whether or not it makes sense for the state or sub-nationals to negotiate with terrorists, carry weapons into the city, and then going back, as we see, these are reported from time to time, and we have seen governors saying, after successful negotiations, they have achieved something. We just need some assurance from you. I think that is all. Your competence is not in doubt. The president's capacity to identify competent hands has never been in doubt. I ask somebody here, have we ever condemned any? I think you are yet another addition to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's determination to put not round peg, square peg in a square hole. That is what you represent. But I just need some assurance to tell my children they don't have to worry. We have a new sheriff in town. Thank you very much, sir.
I think you spoke the minds of all those whose hands are up. Because
up with the issue, everybody is fed up and everybody wants things to be done differently. And those are the things we're going to do to make sure that we have peace. like Senator Oshiomole mentioned, we will win, working together as a team. Let me start from bottom up, sir. Starting with Senator Yaradua, thank you very much for the commendation, and to assure you you're fully committed. We're going to work together as a team, together from the ministry, with the National Assembly, with the members of the armed forces and other security agencies. All NDAs have rules to play for us to achieve success. Nobody can do it alone. I think that's the most important thing. The difference between the CDS office and the minister's office interlinked, supporting each other, giving them all the necessary support for them to be able to carry out their task. Whatever it is we're looking from the outside as they're operating, we're also providing all the necessary, meeting all the NGOs and everybody, making sure it works. Working with them closely, that is taken. There is no way that we can achieve anything without working as a team. Even when I was a CDS, I tried to harmonize all the services to remove all the rancor we used to have before. And now we'll make that very, very important. I think one area that we're going to look at constitutionally is to look at the powers given to the service chiefs, the CDS, ministry. There are a lot of lacunas, there are a lot of gaps that I think is affecting our operations. And I think that is very critical. We must be able to get the service chiefs with their responsibility, the CDS responsibility, and then the ministry, observing what is being done, following up so that we can make sure that the work, the synergy is seamless. There seem to be still some areas that is meditating against our work. I think those are issues we're going to come. I think what we'll do again, sir, is taking over. I'm going to sit down with all stakeholders. That's what we did in Maiduguri that gave us the success we did. We must make everybody understand the roles they have to play. And in doing that, once we do that and everybody's on board, it makes it a lot easier. So to say it, in Maiduguri, we had meetings with motor park, markets, commercial drivers, everybody. And when they came on board, that's when we had success. And that's why we need to really replicate, going down to make sure that everybody has a responsibility. It is not when you see something, you keep quiet saying it is not your responsibility. No. The armed forces, the security forces are not going to be everywhere. So it's important that we also work together. So Senator Anye will assure you that we're going to work closely with the service chiefs. There won't be any issues together, and including other security agencies. On the issue of the reabsorbment of the surrendees, that is not happening. We have a system that we monitor who and who we're recruiting into service. We work together with the intelligence system, the military intelligence, the DSS and all. They still go back to check all those ones we're recruiting based on the data they're bringing. But sir, I think I must mention this, which I've done severally. There are countries, if we look at first world countries, why are they succeeding? They've been able to put some basic things in place. Something as simple as a database for all citizens. So I think that's one area that we need to be, so that we can also assist the security forces, and even developmentally, we need to know the number of people in particular areas so that we can know whether we have markets or schools or hospitals in those areas. I think it's important that we must have a comprehensive database, and not the database that immigration will be having, quarantine will be having, police is having something. No, we need a unified one so that we'll be able to carry, so that when you commit a crime, it's easier to track you, it's easier to trace. That aspect that people can easily commit one crime in Sokoto and run to Maiduguri and go and stay, or run to Kano or somewhere and nobody knows them, makes it a lot easier for them. There are countries where you commit one offense, even your bank account is closed. Your ATM cannot work. Now with ICT, we can do a lot. So I think it's important at this stage for us to start looking at how we can link up all those data together to have a unified one that will assist us in doing this. The kinetic and non-kinetic, like is mentioned rightly, sir, the kinetic effort is about 25-30%. It cannot win totally. It will give you the leverage. But sir, are we addressing those aspects that got us to where we are? Issues of good governance, poverty, illiteracy, all these aspects contribute to it. And that's why we said that the states need to do a lot. Local governments need to work. Sir, if our local governments are up and doing, the local government chairman will be dealing with the crime within their localities. And it will ease up these aspects. We need to have the police. We need to have the correctional system, and especially our legal system. So if the legal system is not proactive, and most of these crimes, especially terrorism, so in Saudi Arabia and Middle East countries, anything on terrorism, nobody jokes with it. Even your family members will disown you, because they've made it in such a way that nobody is set free once you are charged on aspects of terrorism. So I think we need to also make it very, very punitive. The kidnapping issues, the way it's been treated in courts, you get somebody and cases are prolonged, doesn't make it well. So even the security forces, when you travel and you do all the efforts in making arrests and nothing comes out of it. So those are the aspects I think that we need to do. The non-kinetic is very important, sir, because if we're able to understand that when there's justice, fairness and equity within the people and they have a sense of belonging, you will see crime and criminality will go down. Why are we having the resurgence of criminality? We know towards the end of every year, there's always this upsurge. People want to make extra money in whatever it is they're doing. The Sahel is there. The world terrorism agent is increasing in its attacks all over the world. So it's not only Nigeria because we are not isolated. And that's why we're having this pressure. What we need to do, sir, is working together as a team in addressing, making sure that we address them within Nigeria and do not give them any freeway, any aspects that they need to do. We must stop ransom payments. And in doing that, sir, even when ransoms are being paid, because people want to do that, we can track the money is being paid and where does the money come from. There is a lot you can do using the banking system that we can do these things and track those things backwards. The use of technology is very important. And like I said, sir, if we're able to have a database and every Nigerian has a number linked to everything you have electronic, we can monitor anything. I think that's areas that we need to look at and be able to address. Again, the issue of the maritime environment, very, very challenging environment that is there, again linking with the border, especially Akwa Ibom to Cameroon and those other areas. We know there's less increase. Normally when the pressure is on in the south, they go back into issues of sea robbery and piracy and these issues on ground. Again, issues of cultism and all these things. Now, we make sure that our operations within those areas are enhanced using the Operation Delta Safe, expanding their reach. Initially, because those areas were a bit quiet, they didn't extend them. But now what we have done even before I left is we've extended operations within those areas to be able to address those maritime environments, to make sure that we stop these acts. Because there's issues of kidnapping coming from those areas. Collaboration, sir, is critical. No one individual can do this together. We must work. Sir, it says no to negotiation. There is no negotiation with any criminal. And I think that should be made very, very clear. We are working together. We're going to work together with the NSA's office to ensure that states don't adopt such things, because those things compromise security. And to tell those that nobody, if you negotiate with them, they will never abide by it. It's just a moment. When they do that, they want to buy time to buy more arms, and then they were going to come. And we have seen it repeatedly. There are even localities that have done that. They still come after them. So, sir, it's a total ban on that, total ban on illegal mining, and all those other aspects that are bringing these things together. So I think we must be able to do that. Indiscipline in the military, sir, Senator Ipaya, we can assure you that we're going to address them totally. We're going to have independent patrol teams that will go and make sure that we do. And what we want to do again is to withdraw possibly all military men out of checkpoints and let the police and civil defense handle those aspects so that we can go into the bushes and take out these criminals wherever it is they are. It's important. Farming, for us, as yardstick for us to see is farmers must be able to go back to their farms. That is to show that we're achieving success. Because as little as that is very important, because food security is big. If there is hunger, a hungry man is an angry man. And so if people can't eat, you can imagine what will happen. So for us, I think protecting the farm, working with the civil defense that have the agro farmers, agro rangers is very important for us to continue to work together. For Senator Lalong, thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate you for the commendation, and we assure you that we're going to be very firm in all we are doing. And everywhere we make sure that recruitments are going to be thorough. And again, it brings me back to a database, because it makes it easier. Somebody comes for recruitment and has a number that you can check and see everything he's telling you. It makes it a lot easier. We've seen countries having this for years, so I think it's high time we're able to do that. A lot of people now, because there is war, even the military, you find some people don't want to go to where there's conflict. They want to go to soft areas. It's normal for humans. But we always want to tell that anybody being recruited should know that you are joining the armed forces because you are going to fight. There's war going on and you will go and fight. So going in to say that you want to avoid, and that's why some people don't want to come in. Because they feel if they come in, they say they will take them to Maiduguri and all this. Basically, that is what you are meant to do. But again, we know some states, we have observed some states, some regions don't really come in well for reasons, but I think we are doing some sensitization program to try and bring them into it so that the strength can be enhanced. But like Mr. President, you mentioned, sir, as we speak, sometimes every time we are doing recruitment, we have over 70,000 that are applying to join. So we still have enough. But maybe some states do not have that number. But again, we have a way of balancing because we want every Nigerian to be part of it. Every Nigerian to take responsibility of what is going on ground. So we're following all those aspects and we don't want them to go down. But on expectations, so I can tell you, I'm also feeling the heat because when I see the expectations, when my name was mentioned, I know that I cannot afford to fail myself, fail my nation, fail my family. Whatever that we need to do, we will put in the very best, and we know God on our side, we're going to succeed. So it's important, sir, that we must continue to work together. And I assure Nigerians, I really appreciate the responses to the Senate, National Assembly as a whole, the entire Nigerians. I went to social media, I was shocked when I saw the response. And it shows that people are really committed in showing that Nigeria is peaceful. So when people go around saying Nigerians, we don't love ourselves, I say, no, they don't really know who Nigerians are. And it also brings me to the issue that we have on the issue of whether genocide or no genocide. We're all victims. Everybody is being killed. Everybody is dying. So that's why it's important that we must work together. And it is when we allow them have gaps that they penetrate. They don't care who they kill. These are a bunch of evil people that are on drugs. For whatever reason, we must stop the killings. Nigerians must not be killed, or anyone in Nigeria must not be killed for whatever reason. So, sir, our own target is to face them squarely and ensure that we stop the killing. Farmers should go, our children should be safe in their schools, and Nigeria is back to how it used to be before. I think that's very, very important. On the issue of whether 100